This is the Tom Barnard Podcast. Listen live weekday mornings, 8 to 9:30, or anytime you like as a podcast on the Tom Barnard app at tombarnardshow.com or wherever you get your podcasts.
You damn right, ladies and gentlemen. I was looking, what do you got? 68 and clear. It was very, very nice this morning.
Yeah, it's nice, especially after it's been raining kind of pretty heavy, or it's been in the 90s. I think it's supposed to maybe warm up again this weekend, but I'd like this morning throughout the day should be just fine.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be beautiful. It's really nice out right now. 60. Well, now it just popped to 69 and clear. Very, very pleasant. Which means since it's on my watch, it's probably right around 72? Because usually isn't it a couple of degrees warmer than your watch tells you?
I think so.
Mm-hmm. I think that's true. So it's probably like 71, but it's really, really nice outside. Supposed to be a pleasant weekend, isn't it? Maybe the rain late on Sunday, but that's about it.
I haven't looked that far ahead, actually.
I would say I don't believe there's any rain except for, like you're saying, Sunday night. It looks like we should get a couple raindrops.
There it is, ladies and gentlemen. So we took a gander at the news this morning, and your buddy Walls doesn't look like he's going to be the choice because he's going to be appearing, I think, somewhere in Wisconsin or something like that.
Okay.
And Kamala Harris is going to be in Pennsylvania. Gee, who's in Pennsylvania? Although I was talking to Devin about this morning. I don't know if it's a congresswoman or what she is, but she serves in the state government somehow in Minnesota. Has now gone after Shapiro, calling him a Zionist Jew. Is anybody like anybody anymore?
No, nobody likes anybody.
I should be a Zionist Jew. I'm not even a Jew, but I should be. Don't you think? It sounds like a very important title.
Yeah, it sounds almost royal.
It does.
You just take the two words and ignore all the whatever meaning behind everything. You're like, oh yeah, that must be a great position to hold in England or something.
You enter a room and there's just just trumpets.
Here comes the Zionist Jew.
All right. It's the name of the Shrek or the King in Shrek. Yeah.
Yeah, the King in Shrek. There you go. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Next time Josh Arnold's on, I'm going to call him a Zionist Jew. What do you think?
Is he coming in today?
Yeah, so hopefully he's remote.
He'll be coming in today. So on the family show. And now, ladies and gentlemen, Andy Barnard, Tom Barnard, and a Zionist Jew, Josh. What's his last name again? I forgot. Just kidding. In any case, Josh Arnold. So people probably believe that I didn't remember. But yeah, I just I don't remember a time in my life, maybe it was before my life, that people used to go after each other and call each other names, but to look on a news website and see somebody in government calling somebody else in government a Zionist Jew, is the hatred at an all-time high, or what's going on here?
Yeah, especially when they don't, it'd be different if they come out and go, oh, I hate you because here's the 6 policies that you've been trying to push through. it's just name calling at this point.
And settle down, right?
I miss that. I miss that so much.
You miss name calling?
No, I miss going after somebody for their political track record.
Oh,
instead of can we just be normal again?
Right. Back when the political ads were he said he was going to vote for, free college, but here's how he really voted. And then now it's he's a Zionist Jew. That's why we don't like him. What? Okay.
Just a giant stamp on the screen.
And now, the Zionist Jew on the Tom Barnard Show. That's how we'll handle it today. What do you think?
I'll clip that for his intro next week.
I do remember as a little kid, there were several people in my neighborhood, because again, our neighborhood was kind of segregated into Catholics, then Black people, and then Jews. The further west you went, that's how it kind of went. That doesn't mean there wasn't blending. Like I said, I don't remember people being pricks at all. Everybody's very, very nice when I was a kid, even though most of the neighborhood was poor as hell. But now it's good God. But I do remember there was a guy, I've mentioned this before, I think, that he would not allow me to walk on the sidewalk in front of his house. And I'm 7 years old because I was Catholic. And you know what he used to call me? Oh, did I tell you, you dirty cat licker?
Jeez.
Oh, really? Am I a cat licker? I'm 7, asshole.
I'm trying to go to school.
I think that's why I started lifting weights, because I figured by the time I got to his age, I'd like to beat the piss out of the guy for calling me a dirty cat licker. Didn't like Catholics too much, apparently.
No, I'd be curious to see, what happened to him that he just hates all Catholics.
Oh yeah, something happened to him.
Yeah.
It was all about him. You're absolutely right. 100%. You're right. You are. It was all about him somehow. I knew this article would pop up, and it popped up on the complete sheet, which I kind of like the complete sheet because they're very honest about this stuff. You know, Kamala Harris's campaign. And by the way, are people intentionally calling her Kamala? Because her name is Kamala, and everybody knows her name is Kamala, but they still call her Kamala.
I think so, because
Yeah.
it's at a certain point you've heard it more than enough to where I can
Yes.
I can excuse it a few times, but she's been the vice president for nearly 4 years now. I don't know.
Yeah.
And some people just don't want to learn too. It's the same thing as like Chipotle. Like I hear
Chipotle. Yeah.
exactly, and I hear that it's like you can tell them as many. No, Grandma, it's Chipotle, and then she'll be like, "Yeah, let's go get tacos at Chipotle."
Chipotle.
I always thought it was just an ironic saying of Chipotle, like how people go like Tarjay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
Tarjay. There you
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good point. Tarjay. I haven't heard that in a long time now, because it was supposed to be like a discount store, but like an upper end discount store.
Tarjay Boutique.
Tarjay Boutique. Exactly. Oh my God. Kamala Harris's campaign deployed a new one-word tactic this week by calling Donald Trump and J.D. Vance weird. Now it's from what I understand, Governor Walz is claiming he is not the one that came up with that first. Somebody else did. He didn't. Do you know about that?
I don't. I mean, to give him credit, I've seen like a handful of just like normal political like talk people and other, on the left side kind of just be like, that comment, that's kind of weird and stuff like that. So,
Yeah, right. Yeah.
I think it kind of just brewed up, and then because of him being in the like final 5 or whatever for the final selections for the VP pick or the running mate for Harris, it kind of just like bubbled up there, and now he's kind of attached at the hip to it. But I don't know if he necessarily coined it intentionally.
Okay. All we do in this show is deliver for the people.
Right.
That's why I'm reading this article. Kamala Harris's campaign deployed a new one-word tactic this week by calling Donald Trump and J.D. Vance weird. So someone polled 3,500 Americans and asked, "How weird are you?" Turns out a lot of us do think we're pretty weird people. Well, you are. So I'm glad you at least own up to it. I think people are weirder now than they've ever been.
Yeah, and I think everybody's a little weird. Like everybody's got one thing where if you talk to another person about it, like, they'd be like, that's weird that you do that. But the degrees of weirdness varies heavily.
Oh yeah. And what's weird to one person isn't weird to another. Like if somebody goes, "Oh yeah, on the weekends I live out in the woods in a tent and only eat what I can kill," they're like, "Oh, that's a little weird." Yeah. And then there are other people like, "Oh, I go on Sundays to US Bank Stadium in full body paint and scream at 53 grown men as they're playing football." You'd be like, that's pretty weird too.
And I let those guys that don't know who I am dictate my mood for the day.
Yes.
I do remember it was just a couple of years, maybe it wasn't even a couple of years ago, about a year ago, year and a half, something like that. I was sitting around with a bunch of people and they said, "Tom, you do know what people think of you." And I said, "What are you talking about?" He said, "I'm not talking about listeners, all that stuff. But people think you have this side to you. It's either very threatening or kind of dangerous." And I'm like, "No, I don't." And they said, "Yeah, you do. You have this thing." And I was like, "What thing?" And apparently I learned as a child to put forth this image so everybody in the neighborhood would leave me alone. But all guys do that, don't they? Kind of have this image like, just don't bother me. Go bother someone else, but not me.
I don't know.
No?
I think that's changed over time.
Oh, maybe. Yeah, could be.
Just because I don't know. I mean, I don't feel like I exude that. Like,
No.
I don't know. Tevin looks pretty inviting to like have a conversation with.
Inviting? Pardon me.
I think, although like there definitely is now where if you go out, especially in large social settings, there are people that feel like they have to look like a tough guy because I don't want. And then that's how a lot of fights happen. Is two guys that are pretending to be tough guys. Now we actually have to be tough guys.
A very good take on that. Someone polled 3,500 Americans and asked, "How weird are you?" It turns out a lot of us do think we're pretty weird people. 48% said they're weird, including 13% who said they're very weird. 43% said they're not very weird or not weird at all. And 9% aren't sure how weird they are. See, well, that's all three of us are.
Yeah.
We don't know how weird we are. It says, "Sorry, but if you don't know you're basic," what the hell does that mean? What does mean you're basic mean?
it's like
every fall, for example, every woman puts on like Ugg boots and
gets a
pumpkin spice latte. And then that's like considered like the basic fall look. Or for guys, it's probably like putting on like a pair of joggers, sweatpants,
and a flannel.
Yeah, and some white Air Forces or something like that. So yeah, it's like just like the basic line of humanity.
Generic.
No personal flair or
beige
expression.
Wall. Yeah.
There you go. Funny enough, Democrats are more likely than Republicans to admit they're weird, 50% versus 38%. But independents think they're the weirdest at 52%. And finally, the weirdest generation is millennials, 59%. You guys are both millennials, aren't you?
Mm-hmm.
You're the weirdest people on earth. 59% think they're weird. You think that's true? I don't.
I mean, I've got some weird friends, yeah.
I'm not surprised that that millennials. I'm on the very young side of that, where it's like depending on what source you look at, I'm either Gen Z, super old, or young millennial, but like older millennials have the weirdest sense of humor. It's like very cringy.
That's true.
And I'm not surprised by that.
Gen Z is next at 50. So again, millennials, 59% think they're weird. Gen Z is next at 56%, then Gen X at 44%, and just 31% of boomers think they're weird. So you're right. The younger it gets, the weirder you think you are.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or close, 59 to 56%, I guess it is. Now, Gen X, is that the one right after millennials? Or is that
no? Gen Z is below them, and then it's alpha. So I think Gen X is above millennials. That's like
it's above millennials?
I think so.
Generation. Oh yeah, I think you're absolutely right about that. So it's millennials, then Gen Z, then Gen X, and then boomers.
That sounds right.
Going from the bottom to the top.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So if I'm weird, it's none of your damn business. What do you think of that action?
See, and then why the study is skewed the way it is because a lot of young people are like, yeah, I'm weird. What you gonna do about it? Like I'm just here to embrace my weirdness.
There you go. We'll take a break. Look, I almost got out on time today. I'm very proud of myself with this, because I think we ran till about 20 yesterday and set off the timing of the entire show. It was my fault. Let's not kid ourselves.
It's all right.
Let's take a second to talk about my bank, North American Banking Company. You've heard me talking about them for a long time now. When they opened in 1998, they made a promise to deliver a better banking experience for their customers, where you know your banker and they know you. Well, a lot has changed since 1998. This commitment to being a true community bank in the Twin Cities has not. So if you're looking for a better banking experience, why not bank with my friends at North American Banking Company? Go to nabankco.com or stop by any one of their Twin Cities locations. There are 6 of them, of course. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
The past several years have been the craziest in the history of the car business. The pandemic, supply chain, and chip issues, all causing extreme inventory shortages that led to, predatory pricing. Some dealers charge thousands of dollars over MSRP.
We never played that game. I'm Jim Paul of Valley Buick GMC. We knew that would leave a bad taste in a customer's mouth. More importantly, from an integrity standpoint, it was just wrong.
So what about the current market? Inventory and pricing.
Valley has their best inventory in years. Really all the Buick and GMC models. Even the previously hard-to-find Yukons, HD pickups, and Hummer EVs. Plenty of deep discounts. Many with factory rebates and low-interest financing.
Then it's a good time to buy?
It's a great time. We're welcoming our previous customers back, as well as anyone else that felt the treatment just didn't feel right the last time somewhere else.
Valley Buick GMC in Apple Valley and Hastings or valleycardealers.com. Car buying without the bad aftertaste.
I still insist we got to get Jim Paul in studio one of these days. Jim, if you're listening, get your ass in here someday, because I want him to personally tell the story about how Jim Paul almost had to fight a Navy SEAL because our buddy Craig wouldn't shut up. He's got to tell us. It's a great story. It happened in I think it was Key West. I know it was in the Keys somewhere, but we got to get him to tell that story, because Jim has been my friend for about 40 years now, I think, something like that. Always been a great guy. Mike Lindell and My Pillow employees want to thank our listeners for all your continued support. To thank you, they're having an overstock clearance and new product sale right now for the best prices ever when you use promo code TOM. And you get free shipping on your entire order. Get 50% off the MyPillow 2.0. Also get 50% off the brand new flannel sheets that just arrived and won't last long. 6-pack towel sets only $29.98. And take advantage of the free shipping on larger items such as mattresses, mattress toppers. 100% made in the USA on sale for as low as $99.99. Everything's on sale. From the brand new kitchen towels that have the same technology as the bath towels that actually absorb, dog beds, blankets, couch pillows, and so much more. To get the best specials ever, go to mypillow.com or call 800-516-5146 and use promo code Tom. And you get free shipping on your entire order. So call 800-516-5146 or go to mypillow.com and please do use promo code Tom.
You're listening to the Tom Barnard Podcast.
You know, one thing I really do like about all this, and it is really great because we just moved. We're not even done moving yet. It's been a month and a half. We're not even done moving yet. We're close, though. We're getting very, very close. But I got a lot of great new neighbors. And you guys know who Fred Bruno is?
Nope. Fred Bruno.
No.
He's an attorney you don't want against you in court. Let me put it that way. I've known about Fred and known Fred for a number of years now. But he's one of those attorneys when you just like, oh, he got Fred Bruno. Why don't we just settle? He's one of those guys. But you know, the great thing, he's just very tough attorney, fights hard, very honest guy. But he has his beliefs and he strongly believes in things. But you see this guy and he's this very tough attorney and, you know, he's really good at his job by being a tough attorney. When he sees Jude, he melts. It's hilarious. Jude, he starts petting our dog. And he's like, I love that about people. I got this very tough side, except for when there are puppies around. I love that stuff.
And Fred has one of the coolest, like almost TV show attorney nicknames, the Fixer.
The Fixer
is what he's known as.
That's exact. So the Fixer is also the petter because he loves dogs. I love that. Fred's a great guy. I got really good neighbors now. I did. This is a funny thing, and I'll get through this quickly, Phil, because I know we got to talk about some sports and all that stuff. But Catherine and I have, I think at last count, we have like 16 friends in our old neighborhood when we just moved out of Edina. And we are getting together. I think we might be getting together even today or tomorrow night. We would all bring our own lawn chairs or sit out in the circle because we lived at the end of a circle. And we'd sit out there and they'd have a cocktail or, you know, hit the THC or whatever. It's really a bitch when you move because you meet all these new people and that's great. And it's only 12 minutes away. So it's not like we're never going to see our friends again. But moving away from people you've befriended over the past 4 years is kind of a bitch.
Yeah. And then you're also moving into, you think that the new people are your friends, but you don't really know for sure. You got to spend some time vetting them. Are they weird? You know, it's a whole thing really at any age when you move.
Also, I'm warning John because there's this new big argument about who's going to be the vice president. It looks like it's going to be Shapiro out in Pennsylvania because the day that our governor's, I think he's appearing. I think for some reason appearing in Wisconsin. He's appearing somewhere, but that same day, Kamala Harris is going to be in Pennsylvania, which would indicate that she's going to go with Josh Shapiro. So
I love how they made I saw last night, like 4 of the top VP rumored candidates have like cleared their schedule for the weekend. Is that just to like throw everyone off the scent? Like, has she already picked someone, but we just want to make sure that we clear the schedules for 4 different people so that it doesn't leak?
Did you see what one? I don't know. And I don't know if she's a state representative or what the hell she is, but there's a Minnesota woman in politics that has now referred to Josh Shapiro as a Zionist what?
Oh, a Zionist Jew.
A Zionist Jew.
Yep. Okay.
It's like, right. Jesus, pardon me.
Yeah.
The Zionist Jew vice president. Settle down. She hasn't picked him yet. I think she's going to.
Yeah, it's wild out there. I mean, just head on a swivel the next 3-4 months, folks.
You got
head
that
on
right.
a swivel.
There's no doubt about it. So what's happening in your world, Pally?
Well, it's, what is it now? Day 8 of the Olympics, if we count the opening ceremony. And I am now to the point where I'm glued to equestrian, rowing, archery, and other random sports like trampoline on Peacock right now. Didn't know I needed trampoline jumping in my life, Tom, until this morning, but the Gold Zone channel was calling.
What about breakdancing? You gonna watch that?
I haven't stumbled into breakdancing yet, but knowing how deep I am in this Olympic content addiction, I'll probably stop on it at some point.
You just indicated to us and pointed out, and didn't even know you were doing it, but you just pointed out to us why, the Phil and Judd show really, really works, because you watch all that stuff. Judd wouldn't watch 1 second of the Olympics.
Yeah, real fire and ice thing.
Yeah,
going on
fire
there.
and ice. That's exactly
The
right.
He detests the Olympics. And every 4 years we get into these arguments about, like, he'll see, and it could be even like not even the Olympics, it could be like a world championship, international competition or something, and he'll see a Minnesota athlete, like his whole thing 2 years ago during I think it was the FIBA World Championships for basketball, was he didn't want Rudy Gobert after just signing a new contract with, or they traded for him. So the Timberwolves land this French phenom, and Judd was adamant that this is a bad idea. And of course, Rudy Gobert tweaks his knee in the FIBA international games and validates everything. So he's just worried that like Anthony Edwards is going to slip on a banana peel or something while you're walking the streets of Paris and be out for the entire season.
No, I can't ask Judd this because he won't know, but so I have to ask you this. Suni Lee finished bronze. Did that surprise you?
Well, considering she had like a kidney disease issue,
right,
and she came all the way back. I didn't realize this until they put the graphic up. I was watching the primetime coverage, which is cool because you can watch the events live if you want, like in the middle of the day, because there's like a 7-8 hour time difference. But then NBC and Mike Tirico put together the edited version at night,
right?
In case you missed it, and they put the graphic up that the United States women have won the individual all-around in gymnastics, like 6 consecutive Olympics going back to Carly Patterson in 2004. Ooh. I knew we were like really good at gymnastics, but when you put it in, like, we have like a 2.5 decade dynasty for women's gymnastics right now, which is kind of cool.
It is kind of cool. Oh, I have to ask. Well, I should probably ask AJ the situation. Do we have a current picture of me that's on file anywhere? I mean,
a current picture?
Yeah. Do we have a current picture? Because I got to show Phil something.
No, if we could go with I don't know, I could just like make your like box fill up the screen.
I was gonna say, if you hold still, we'll pretend that this video.
Yeah, we'll take a screenshot of your current face.
But I've lost like 90 pounds in the last couple, I don't know how long it's been, whatever. But I was talking to Carol over at LIVEA said, do you have a picture of when you were, at 315 pounds, and not the very young ones when you're more muscular, but when you kind of ease from a young one to a middle one and all the rest of it. Catherine found a picture of me, and I got to show it to the people, and I got to send it to Carol today. So I wanted to do a comparison, but we don't have a picture of me. But I mean, you can kind of see that I.
Do you have this picture, this older picture, on you right now?
Yep.
Can you hold it up to the camera? Is it like on your phone?
No, it's an actual picture.
Oh.
Well, it is on my phone, but I don't know how to bring that up, so never mind. I'll just hold it the picture. Okay, so I didn't really know you when I was kind of like halfway done when I first met you. So I wasn't at my heaviest when I met you. This is a picture of me. And again, this is not when I was a muscular young man. This is later on in life. Let me put it that way. When I decided I should probably maybe lose weight or I'm going to die. Right?
Yeah, that's
ready.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Let's go full. Oh, look at this guy. Look
at the size of me in that
just enjoying some mini donuts on the couch.
Yeah, you see it? What have I got over there? I got a Coca-Cola. Here, let me get straight. I mean, I look like I got a basketball under my shirt.
It's impressive. I mean, not that picture necessarily, but like the weight loss, Tom.
Not that picture necessarily. Yeah, they did. Olivia did a great job for me, man. I got 10 more pounds to lose. Let's not kid ourselves. I want to lose 10 more, get down to 214. So I ought to lose 101 pounds. But that was me. Wow. 91 pounds heavier than I am now.
Wow.
And you know what's great about that? I had no idea until I saw that picture I ever got that big.
Yeah.
I just never bothered to look at pictures.
You just wear a lot of elastic pants and shorts.
I still do that, but it all works out in the end.
Isn't it crazy? So you basically, I don't know what the math exactly is, but you're basically down like a third of a Tom, right?
Right. That's exactly.
Or more than that even.
Yeah. 101 pounds. Well, right around there. Yeah. 1/3 of me is now gone. I think most of it's my brain. It's shot now. It's not nowhere near as good as it used to be, but but no, I had to show that quickly.
Full brain still intact, but half of your body is now gone thanks to LIVEA. That's good.
Who do the Twins have this weekend?
So the Twins have the worst team in the history of Major League Baseball this weekend, the Chicago White Sox. And I feel like we've gotten to the point here whenever the White Sox come to town. I think this is the last 3 games they play against the White Sox, but there's pressure to sweep them because they are literally on pace to be the worst team in the history of Major League Baseball, worse than that Mets team from 60, 70 years ago. And they were sort of pacing that way before the trade deadline, and then they traded some of their better players. Not that they have great players, but so this is this is a really bad team that you should take 3 games from here and then see where you're at on Monday.
You know what's weird about that? And I never even thought about it until you were just talking about it just now, that I spent a lot of time in Chicago doing voiceover. But for every year, years and years and years I'm talking, I never once went to a White Sox game. I always went to see the Cubs.
Yeah.
A part of that was because, the stadium is magnificent and all. Like I said, I saw Kingman hit the building across the street in left field with a home run.
Over Waveland, yeah.
Oh, my God. Yeah, Waveland Avenue. But I didn't even realize I have never gone to a Chicago White Sox game because they've never been any good. How long has it been since they've been any good?
Well, what's crazy? Well, they did win a World Series in 2005, and they have competitive seasons now and then. Mm-hmm. I think it's because it's not like the Cubs have been great over the course of 100 years, right? The Cubs have been if you looked at every team over the course of decades in their record, but the Cubs have charm and personality and a ballpark that's historical and fun. Everything about the White Sox is cookie cutter and mediocre. Even like they built the new Comiskey in like 1993, and it's just there's like no character or personality to the stadium. It's on the kind of the outskirts of downtown Chicago on the north or on the south end. Like it's just I don't know. Everything about it is just cookie cutter to me. The White Sox.
I agree.
What about the new s'mores milkshake they unveiled at the ballpark? remember when that, like before the season, that was the biggest news about the White Sox? Not any big signings, not any, Eloy Jimenez is back. He's in the bed. They have a new milkshake, everybody. That's the White Sox.
Yeah, well, they don't
wonder
have
how that. Hopefully, it's selling well, compared to their record on the actual field.
Yeah.
I do have to reach out. I got to run this by you and Judd. Would you guys once in a while want to be on the show when we talk to Harry Carey from heaven?
Oh, absolutely. 100%.
I might have to get him back. I might have to get Harry back from heaven because I was just thinking one of the reasons that I became such a Cubs fan was because Harry went from St. Louis to the Cubs, I think.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he went from St. Louis to the Cubs. I always loved Harry Carey. And my favorite thing that he ever said to me was on the KQ morning show, and Gelfand insulted him.
Yeah.
Which is really unusual for Gelfand to do, to insult someone.
Right. Clearly, yes. He would never say a crossword.
Oh, God, no. Gelfand makes this smart-ass comment to Harry Carey. There's a long pause, and Harry says, and I quote, "Barnard, control your monkey."
Yeah.
Control your monkeys. I don't think Gelfand's ever been called a monkey before. Probably not.
No.
But yeah, I'm going to have to reach out to Harry in heaven because I still talk to Harry in heaven once in a while.
How do you contact Harry in heaven these days?
I just start thinking of him and he pops into my head. It's one of those kind of deals.
I didn't know
he probably doesn't use technology up there.
Well, it could be a special phone number. I should look it up.
Well, you just a special phone.
Yeah, there's like a red phone that sits in the corner of the studio that
just like a heavenly light down on it.
One of my favorite moments in interviewing Harry Carey was when he couldn't think of what he was going to say. Sometimes when you're on the air and you think, he said you think.
The record starts skipping.
The record starts skipping. It's like, whoa. Okay. But in any case, so Harry, we'll get Harry from heaven on once in a while. That's a great idea.
Yeah. What's funny is his final broadcast partner over the last decade or so with the Cubs on WGN was Steve Stone, the former pitcher. And Steve Stone is still, he must be deep into his 70s, grinding out White Sox games as the color commentator on TV. And he's got this spry, sort of clownish 35-year-old play-by-play guy, John Schifrin, who's an ultimate homer, tries to justify everything that happens to the White Sox. And there was a game a few weeks ago where the White Sox are 40 games out of first place and on pace to be the worst team in baseball. And they lose a game in the 9th inning. And the play-by-play guy starts complaining about how, man, it's just incredible, Steve. We just the bad luck of these White Sox. We just keep catching these teams at the wrong time. And Steve goes, well, I guess that might be part of it.
That might be part of it. That's exactly right. But now the Twins over the years, Halsey Hall was magnificent. I mean, did you have a favorite Twins announcer back in the day?
Well, I grew up on the radio side at sort of the tail end of Herb Carneal into John Gordon. And then I got to know John Gordon pretty well, just being in Fort Myers for a few years, and got to golf with him a couple times. And so John Gordon was kind of the first one that I on the radio side fell in love with.
John is a great guy. We had him on the show, as a matter of fact, about a year ago. He came on, and just a great guy. But I've talked about before, the first time I ever bought season tickets for the Twins, it was like the mid to late 70s, something like that. I always wanted to be a season ticket holder. I finally bought them. And at every game, every home game, there was a woman that sat in the row in front of me, kind of behind the plate, leaning toward first base, because the Twins were on the first base side at the old Met. This woman would go after the Twins. You suck. You should be you're terrible. Oh my God, this team is terrible at every game. But I loved it because she was so into the team. You know who it was? It was Herb Carneal's wife.
What?
I love that. It was actually Herb Carneal's wife just ripping the piss out of the team.
Which gives you a glimpse into what they probably talked about candidly when he got off the microphone and went home. Right?
You might be right about that. Exactly. I just loved it. I absolutely loved the fact that I found out it was Herb Carneal's wife that would go after the Twins.
Bums! You're a bunch of bums!
You're a bunch of bums! All right, Pally. So we should watch. I don't know if I want to watch the White Sox. I suppose I will, though, because they should win all 3 games.
That's the pressure, though, now. I mean, this is it's intense pressure to win all 3 of these games here. So we'll update on Twins White Sox on Monday, some Vikings training camp updates, and then
excellent.
Whatever's happening here in this equestrian event that I'm glued to on TV. I'll let you guys know.
I think every Monday and Friday now when you sign off, I'm going to go, Phil Mackey, you suck.
You're a bum.
You're a bum, Phil. All right, Pally. We'll talk to you on Monday.
See you guys.
Thanks a lot. Ladies and gentlemen, take a break. Be right back. Chris Egert joins us right after this. Live alive?
Yeah, we did.
Oh my God. I didn't even notice that. I didn't even pick, because it's been just the twosome lately, if you know what I mean.
I figured I'd throw you the.
But I got this one right here. When you go to a restaurant, and by the way, when you get Herb on, it's not going to be me doing it. It's Herb. It's actually Harry from heaven.
Absolutely.
Yeah. There's no question. When you go to a restaurant, you expect the chef to be an expert. You expect your auto mechanic to be an expert when it comes to fixing your car. You judge them both by the results of their work. Josh Arnold is an expert in investments and planning your financial future. Josh Arnold is my expert. He should be yours too. I talk to Josh every week, and he understands the market, the economy. He knows how to plan for your retirement. Don't put it off another day. The man with your plan is Josh Arnold. Call Josh now for a no-obligation 48-minute evaluation. You have got nothing to lose, and you'll have an expert planning and managing your financial future. Call Josh at 952-925-5608. That's 952-925-5608. Investment services offered by Josh Arnold Investment Consultant, LLC Security Investment Advisor. Past performance, no guarantee of future results. All investments involve risk. All comments and opinions are Josh Arnold's and do not constitute investment advice. I am a paid endorser.
When you need someone to listen, a lawyer you know and trust.
If you've never been in an auto accident, it's hard to know what to expect from the insurance adjuster. Here are some tips. 1, if they talk to you about whether or not you should hire a lawyer, it's a good sign that you probably should. 2, it's illegal for them to give you any legal advice. They aren't lawyers and they aren't licensed to practice law. 3, if they tell you that everyone involved in the accident is at fault, they're wrong. This comes from the belief that you're at fault for just being on the road. That's nonsense and not supported by any law. Finally, remember that friendly adjusters are often just gaining information. They want you to do most of the talking so they can file their report. I'm Mike Bryant from Bradshaw & Bryant. I hope you're never injured in a collision, but if you are, don't sign anything until you've talked to us.
Find Bradshaw & Bryant, personal injury attorneys at minnesotapersonalinjury.com.
Seeking justice for the injured. Bradshaw and Bryant.
I'm here talking with my friends Michael Bilski and Brad Huckle of North American Banking Company. Guys, it seems like banking has changed quite a bit since you first opened your doors in 1998.
Yes and no. In 98, we didn't have online and mobile banking like we do today. Many banking processes have also changed. One thing that hasn't changed is we still provide a true community bank experience right here in the Twin Cities.
Our team takes the time to get to know our customers and their goals. This creates a relationship that is unique in banking today and one our customers appreciate. It's why we like to say we provide a better banking experience.
You're absolutely right, Brad. I've been a customer for a long time. The service your team provides is phenomenal.
Thanks, Tommy.
So why not bank with my banker, North American Banking Company, a better banking experience, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
You're listening to the Tom Barnard Podcast.
Channel 5's Chris Egert is brought to you by Mr. Money Talk, Josh Arnold. Call Josh today for your free 48-minute evaluation at 952-925-5608. Chris Egert.
Good morning.
You got this look on your face like there's some important news you need to reveal.
No, just I'm running behind a little bit today. I apologize.
Why are you running behind today? I thought I was running behind today.
Are you running behind today?
I don't think so, but well, it says you're supposed to be out by 45, so no, we're not.
Are anybody going to Basilica Block Party?
No.
Nope.
Only if you're there.
Are you going?
No.
Then I won't be there, Chris.
You know, I went to Basilica for, I think it was September and October in first grade. I went to Basilica for 2 months.
Did you?
And then we moved to LeSueur, Minnesota. So I went to St. Anne's in LeSueur after that. My dad had a job down there for about, 2 months. And then we moved back to North Minneapolis, and I went to St. Joseph. So I went to 3 different schools for my first grade.
That's really good for kids to just be bounced around to different schools.
No question
Great
about it.
for them.
No doubt about it. So, honest to God, I remember looking up in the skies. My brother Terry and my sister Bobby tried to talk to me in the fact that I could see Santa on his sleigh if I looked into the stars long enough. And I think I actually fell for it and thought I did see Santa in the sky. And then the next day I found out my dad had been fired and we were moving back to North Minneapolis.
That's a weird memory.
Oh, it's a weird. You want to talk about weird memories sometime? Maybe we should write a book. My memories.
Listen, I've gotten I feel like I get a nice sampling of your memories over the years.
Over the years.
It would be a good book. It would be a very good book.
Well, again, when your father's put in the nut house and literally behind bars too. He wasn't just in a mental institution. He was behind bars in a mental institution. And then my uncle's getting murdered and stuff. I got some great memories we could talk about.
It's I'm buying it if you're writing it.
I should write a book about that. Everybody wants me to write a book about my career. It's like, I already know what happened there. Who cares?
Yeah. But I think that's easy to think that way from your perspective. But I think you've got a lot of people around that would be really interested in a book.
We'll see. Why don't you
get going on that?
Yes, let's get going on that because I don't have enough to do already.
I know. That's like, okay, yeah, I'll write a book. Hey, let's see. A couple things I wanted to tell you about. There was an accident. Well, I won't say accident. What looked like an accident yesterday on Interstate 94. Mm-hmm. It was around noontime and it caused a big sort of like traffic backup. Actually, is this weird thing where a guy called 911 from inside the car and said that someone in the car had been assaulted. The police get there. It turns out that the person driving is, if not dead, near death.
Yep.
They take that person to the hospital, pronounce him dead, and then they arrest the person who was in the car with him in the passenger seat.
Mm-hmm.
I know what it sounds like. It sounds like the person who was the passenger, something happened, killed the dude who was driving while he was driving.
Which
is the most insane thing about that, right? Like, and then I guess the person self-reported the assault in the car. We're still waiting to like see any kind of charging documents on anything on it yet to explain what exactly happened. But just sort of using common sense, it seems like only a couple of things could have happened. And then on the other hand, I'm like thinking like, what movie was it with, was it Pulp Fiction where the dude like killed the guy in the back seat of the car? You remember that?
Yeah, when he accidentally shoots him.
And then I'm kind of like wondering if it wasn't a deal like that or something too, but it's insane. So yeah, I have a lot of questions about it, waiting to hear how it all plays out. But
no, where did that happen?
On Interstate 94 in St. Paul, like at 12:30 yesterday afternoon. It was like the middle of the day.
Because the reason I asked you that question is I went, I can't remember how I got on 169, but I was on 169 headed south. 169 headed north was backed up for miles. Yesterday? Would that have been affected by that, you think?
No, I don't think so.
I mean, it was backed up for miles, and I don't know what happened, but
I'm going to say something controversial.
Okay.
169 sucks. It sucks every single stretch of that road. It sucks on the north end, and it sucks on the south end. It's a white knuckle hellscape when you're on that road. And then when I'm in St. Paul and I'm on 35E, you ever been on 35E?
Oh yeah.
It's like, oh my God, this is the greatest road. There's no traffic. Right. Everybody's chill. Like everything's beautiful on the side of the road. And you're like, oh my God, Egan, look at you showing off. And you're like, wow. And then I think kind of the equivalent road on the other side of town, I think 169. And I'm like, every second you're on 169, you're either just sitting there, not moving, or you think you're going to die.
You know, it's interesting. When it was called County Road 18, it wasn't like that.
When 169 was County Road 18?
County Road 18, yeah, back when it was first built. So I don't know, just changing the name screwed. I think people were talked into the fact that it was an interstate when it really isn't.
Right. I mean, it's a 2-lane. I guess it might be a little bigger in some places, but it's not a big road, right? I think it gets a little bigger when you get down into like Bloomington, Eden Prairie, and you turn the corner down into Shakopee, but it's a bad stretch either direction. I did want to note, because we were talking about earlier in the week, they were supposed to close 94 this weekend through St. Paul all the way over into Woodbury. Hannah said the last thing she heard, that's not happening now.
Oh, it's not?
Yeah. MnDOT does this though, where they'll just set out a plan and then just change their mind last minute and not really tell anybody. Yeah, I know, Tevin, right? Act surprised.
Construction is just so efficient and well thought out.
Yeah.
I didn't know any better. Oh no, I'm not going to say it. I got nothing against most of the fine working folks at MnDOT. It's hard.
Question for you.
Yeah.
And I do know that, 494 and 694 do curve around the south end and the north end of the town. But 169, once you get into that area you were talking about, Shakopee down there, it takes a hard turn. 169 doesn't head straight west.
Yeah, and then goes all the way down to Mankato.
Yeah, it's like, what?
Yep.
Why did you do that?
And down there, the road is for the most part, it's bigger and it's wider and it does fine, but it's that through the metro, it's tough. It's just not enough lanes for it.
It's true. So what do you got planned for the weekend? Anything good?
I'm going to go up to St. Cloud and watch some basketball.
Nothing wrong with that, baby.
How about you?
We're babysitting our daughter's dogs. We've been moving for a month and a half. We finally have a wide open weekend, but no. Alex and their family going up to the cabin, so we're going to watch their dogs all weekend.
Well, that'll be something.
That'll be something. Would you like to name that something? What will it be?
I could think of a couple of words for it, but
so dogs like cabins. They could
yeah, I know. That's what I'm thinking. Like take the dogs up there. But
Chris, you gonna be at Hollenbeck Hall, or where's all the basketball at?
It's actually not St. Cloud. It's St. Ben's. I take that back. So St. Benedict's.
Oh, St. Benedict's.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
it's an annual fall tournament that happens up there, or end of summer pre-fall basketball tournament. So
Okay. Well, if you're near the St. Cloud campus, make a detour and get yourself Val's for some lunch.
That's a hamburger place, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
What's the name of that great restaurant? It's right downtown in St. Cloud. It's in this old, beautiful red brick. I love red brick architecture anyway. I think it looks really cool. It's really, really good restaurant. Is it called? I keep thinking it's called the District or something. Or it's really good. I love St. Cloud. St. Cloud.
I know what building you're talking about, but I'm not
Yep.
sure what the name of the place is.
Our listeners will know. They'll tip us off.
All right, you guys, have a good weekend.
You too, pal. Thank you.
Later.
Channel 5's Chris Egert, brought to you by Mr. Money Talk, Josh Arnold. Call Josh today for your free 48-minute evaluation at 952-925-5608. We'll take a break. Be right back. We have to put up, we can welcome Bob Sansevere onto the show right after this. Mike Lindell and MyPillow employees want to thank my listeners for all your continued support. To thank you, they're having an overstock clearance and new product sale right now for the best prices ever. When you use promo code TOM, you get free shipping on your entire order. You get 50% off the MyPillow 2.0. Also get 50% off the brand new flannel sheets that just arrived and won't last long. 6-pack towel sets for only $29.98. And take advantage of the free shipping on larger items such as mattresses and mattress toppers. 100% made in the USA, on sale for as low as $99.99. Everything is on sale, from the brand new kitchen towels that have the same technology as the bath towels that actually absorb dog beds, blankets, couch pillows, and so much more. To get the best specials ever, go to mypillow.com or call 800-516-5146. Use promo code TOM, and you can get free shipping on your entire order. So call 800-516-5146. Go to mypillow.com and use promo code TOM.
The past several years have been the craziest in the history of the car business. The pandemic, supply chain, and chip issues, all causing extreme inventory shortages that led to, well, predatory pricing. Some dealers charge thousands of dollars over MSRP.
We never played that game. I'm Jim Paul of Valley Buick GMC. We knew that would leave a bad taste in a customer's mouth. More importantly, from an integrity standpoint, it was just wrong.
So what about the current market? Inventory and pricing.
Valley has their best inventory in years. Really all the Buick and GMC models. Even the previously hard-to-find Yukons, HD pickups, and Hummer EVs. Plenty of deep discounts. Many with factory rebates and low-interest financing.
Then it's a good time to buy?
It's a great time. We're welcoming our previous customers back, as well as anyone else that felt the treatment just didn't feel right the last time somewhere else.
Valley Buick GMC in Apple Valley and Hastings, or valleycardealers.com. Car buying without the bad aftertaste.
When you go to a restaurant, you expect the chef to be an expert. You expect your auto mechanic to be an expert when it comes to fixing your car. You judge them both by the results of their work. Josh Arnold is an expert in investments and planning your financial future. Josh Arnold is my expert, and he should be yours too. I talk to Josh every week, and he understands the market and the economy, and he knows how to plan for your retirement. Don't put it off another day. The man with your plan is Josh Arnold. Call Josh now for a no-obligation 48-minute evaluation. You've got nothing to lose, and you'll have an expert planning and managing your financial future. Call Josh at 952-925-5608. That's 952-925-5608. Investment services offered by Josh Arnold Investment Consultant, LLC Security Investment Advisor. Past performance is no guarantee of future results. All investments involve risk. All comments and opinions are Josh Arnold's and do not constitute investment advice. Tom Barnard is a paid endorser.
This is the Tom Barnard Podcast.
Sandy's with us. I got to tell you something up front because I just got a call while I was running down the hall that we're going to watch Alex's Dogs tonight and tomorrow night. But tomorrow during the day, it just reminded me of this because we were talking about family and all that stuff, that tomorrow I'm going to go see, there's a Connolly, Levine, Barnard family gathering. And I haven't seen some of these people in years. It's going to be on Lake Osakis up by Long Prairie, Minnesota. And it popped into my head because we were just talking about how much I love St. Cloud. And I do love St. Cloud. It's a great town because it was always, hey, we're halfway to Long Prairie. We're in St. Cloud, so we're halfway to my grandparents. Just great memories. You have those great memories as a kid out there. And where the hell are you from again? Some Pennsylvania or something?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Yeah, Jersey, Pennsylvania.
He goes, Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania.
I did that on purpose. Yeah, you're from Jersey.
That's
But
right.
yeah, it was just all this nice stuff just popped into my head. They brought up St. Cloud. It's like, oh yeah, I'll be going through there tomorrow, see my family. I have not seen some of them in years. I'm looking forward to. I don't know if there'll be any other Barnards there. My uncle Eldon's family. I don't know if they'll be there or not. But the Levines and all these different family members are going to be up there for a little cookout.
Are you bringing the dogs?
We are not bringing the dogs.
Oh,
Not even Jude. We're not even bringing Jude up there.
Might be a mess when you get home.
That'll be fine. Don't worry about a thing.
Hey, I empathize because we're watching. My son had to go out of town for work, and we're watching his two dogs. One of them you wouldn't even know is here. The other one is incredibly needy. Every time I turn around, she's just there with her big doe eyes, just looking to be petted and being, get a little bit of love, which I'm not big on when it comes to, I don't want her to get too attached.
I got to mention one more thing before I move on to the important Bob Sansevere stuff. But Patty Connolly, my cousin, listens to this show every single day, from what I can tell. I'm gonna have to talk to her about that. But it's gonna be. I'm really looking forward to it. I haven't seen these people in years. Great memories. You guys have great memories of at being a child over there in Wisconsin, and you were up in what
Fridley,
well,
right?
Did you grow up in Fridley?
Yeah, I'm in
Fridley. Are you always
Fridley.
Fridley?
Yeah.
You have little great memories of family in Fridley, don't you?
Yeah.
Friendly Fridley. You were a neighbor of Bilski, which is not great, but
yeah, I saw him at the neighborhood cookouts all the time.
You liar! You're making it up as he goes along, Bob. I could tell by the look in his eye he was lying.
Too.
Big town.
When I was very young, I remember here we got all the 10,000 lakes, but a big lake. My great grandmother lived on something called Erskine Lake, which actually Lou Costello was a neighbor. He had a place from Abbott and Costello. Yep,
I loved him.
I did too. But I mean, the thing that I remember about it, again, I was 5, 6, if that. The lake, no matter where you were, you could see bottom, you could see fish. I wouldn't swim in that because you see everything around you.
It's too
damn clean. Yeah,
it's
I like
too
the
clean.
Then we lived at the Jersey Shore, as I've mentioned in a time or two, but we lived on a lagoon, which leads out to the bay. I mean, they're like fingers at just a lot of people on one side of the other lagoon, but there you'd go swimming and you feel something on your leg. It's an eel wrapping around your leg. They never really bit, but they're slimy. They get blowfish, eels, crabs, everything.
Let me ask you a question, Bob, because it's becoming more and more apparent as time goes by. If you bought that same house now, it'd probably be expensive as hell, wouldn't it?
It'd probably be $500,000 or more. Easy.
Oh, easy $500,000.
My
Probably
parents,
close to $1 million, I bet.
And I remember, because I remember seeing the sign when we bought it, $14,900.
$14,900.
That was two levels, up the up and the down. The lower level walk right out to the as a kid, it was a great. I was fortunate in where I grew up, because I grew up, on a lagoon until I was the teenager, and then we moved to a place that was on a pond, and we always had boats when I was growing up, which was kind of neat.
Did your dad have plans to drown you or something?
A few times. No, but I mean, it was a great time. Growing up, the whole thing about, I mentioned crabs. I mean, at night, you shine a light in the water and these soft shell crabs would come.
Oh, yeah.
It was kind of a delicacy, for people.
Absolutely.
And there's nothing like, I assume we all like spaghetti. But spaghetti and crab sauce, still the best sauce I've ever had, because instead of meat, you just clean the crabs, throw them in the pot. And they're great. And it's those, it's those blue, like what you, it's not like Alaskan king crab. There's no Jersey king crab. It's just the crab, about that big with the two little tentacles.
Usually with crab, you would dip it into a cocktail sauce. I like shrimp. Would you dip crab into a shrimp sauce like that?
Yeah,
with tomato.
I loved it in the sauce, but quite honestly, I didn't have the patience to clean out all the meat from these things. It was work. No, I mean, it was a lot of work to get it out because they weren't that big. They were tasty when you got to them, but
makes sense. So, Bob, do you think it's going to be a huge disappointment if the Twins don't sweep the Chicago White Sox?
They better sweep them because right now they're 6.5 out, and
Yep.
Kansas City surged ahead of them by half a game.
Oh, see,
This is going to be tough because, I mean, other teams are not going to sit by and say, go ahead, Twins, pass me. You made that great deal at the trade deadline, getting a journeyman reliever. We're going to have to back away from you.
They did nothing.
No, zero. They really, you know what? We talked about it the other day. $35 million cut the payroll at the start of the year.
Mhm.
And now they had a chance to do something, and they did nothing, really. How about sell the team?
Yeah, sell the team if you don't want to spend the money.
And which poll ad do we blame? Is it Jim? Because he's not running it. His nephew's running it now, I think, or is it his kid?
It's a third
Joe
generation.
Polad's doing it. Yeah, Joe's doing it.
That always happens with the third generation. You get the generation who bought the team, then the one following, you got to, hey, I got to be good, good to mom and dad and keep the team. That third generation is the one that always tanks everything.
But the kid grew up around the
I
Twins.
know.
You'd
I
think
know.
he'd want to do something good for the team, but everything's about, and I get it, there's a bottom line, but when you're in contention, here's where they don't get it. If they had made a big splash this past week with the trade deadline, more people would come.
No
You'd sell
question.
more tickets. You'd make more money. They don't.
How many-
I don't think they get it.
Is there any guess how many billions the Polad family is worth? Billions of dollars.
I believe it's 4 point something.
4.2
Yep.
billion, I think you said maybe last week or something like that.
Yeah, let's see here.
I mean, billions of dollars. Why? What are you going to do with all that dough? Go
Okay,
buy
here's
some teammates.
Here's what they're doing, though. What they're using Target Field. Didn't they have a big concert there the last week or in the last week or
Yes.
so?
Yeah, Foo
Yep.
Fighters.
Yeah.
Okay.
AJ went.
And all the money for that. That stadium was paid for, was built for them, right? Who gets
Yes.
the money? They keep the money for that. How about putting that money, some of that,
Yeah.
toward getting a good player? But no, they're just pocketing it.
That's different money. That's
Yeah.
concert money. That can't. That's not baseball money.
And concert money goes in our pockets.
Yeah.
Yep.
Except they're still, they're making the dough and they're just pocketing it. And there's no expenses other than paying the foos.
I know. It's just the foos. Is
Or,
that who they are now?
As, what is it? Christopher Walken, the Foo Fighters.
The Foo Fighters. Yeah, that's right. The Foo Fighters.
Yeah, I would.
I
Now,
love
okay,
it.
AJ, if you're from Fridley, you were Fridleyite. What do they call you?
Fridleyan. I don't know.
Fridleyan.
I guess I could
A
see that.
Fridleyan. That's good.
Fridleyan, yeah.
I like that.
Hey, oh, by the way, I'm crestfallen. We're playing Morocco in soccer and we're getting destroyed 1-0. Morocco.
1-0.
How embarrassing is that?
Morocco. What, they got like 10 people there?
I don't know. Maybe.
I got no idea, Stanny. They got no idea what the hell's going on.
I don't know what's happening either. But I mean, if any of you watch the Olympics, do you care?
Nope. Couldn't care less.
I turn it on when I'm eating, and then that's about it.
Yeah, I'm
Something
not
to do.
It's not appointment television by
Yeah.
any stretch of the imagination, but go USA.
Like I know my mom's locked in every night for either swimming or gymnastics while that's going
Oh
on.
yeah,
Mm.
yeah.
But-
I could see that.
No, the only thing that I watched a few minutes of is women's rugby. 'Cause it was
And?
on. It was the only thing on, and I enjoyed watching because obviously,
They were
now that
dominant.
I'm a big rugby aficionado now, thanks to my son. But actually, those women can hit. I mean,
Oh,
they
yeah.
are they
Oh,
are
yeah.
tough. Hey, have you gotten wrapped up, or have you seen that whole thing yesterday about this the controversy about the big? I don't know, it's from Iraq or Iran or
Algeria.
Algeria, one of those places in Africa right now. It wasn't the
Good
Middle
old-
East. But it's the guy. The guy's got to be 6. Well, excuse me. People were saying it's a guy, and then somebody said, it's a woman. Was born a woman. You have XY chromosomes. You're not a woman. That's
Right.
a man. So stop saying you're born a woman.
Well, let me ask you a question about that, because I would agree with you. It is not fair to women that this is happening. They
No.
can't possibly compete.
But you know what, Tom? Where are the feminists? Where's now? Where
I
are
know.
all
I
the
agree.
women who fought for the rights that they deserved and got? Where are you now? Why are you letting this happening? It's that whole wokeness thing.
I know. This wokeness has got to end someday. It's just disgusting.
And it was a poor eye-tie gal, 46 seconds, got pounded twice and said, that's it. Then she cried on the, got to her knees and cried. I don't like to see an eye-tie girl cry.
Wasn't that was Tevin's cousin, wasn't it? Claimed to be a woman now.
I believe so. But
I'm definitely not Algerian. Yeah,
Definitely not
But I
Algeria.
mean, The guy hit her. The woman hit her so hard it knocked the sideburns off of her head.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, I just don't see how they think this is fair to any. If you want a separate section for trans people, great. That works, right?
Well, yes, that and again, I don't have a problem. If you want to be trans, that's fine. But there are
who cares?
You can't. Now there are sports where you could compete certainly if you're doing the shooting sports are fun.
Yeah, that kind of thing.
The guns, because they're great. Some women are phenomenal shots. It's when you're not actually actively involved in the hitting each other or playing like basketball. That's lopsided. Tennis would be lopsided.
Actually,
but certain things aren't. What?
When you brought that up, Governor Walz just texted me and said, "That's weird."
It's unbelievable. Okay, how stupid do these people, these Democrats and these talking heads think we are that we don't know you got your talking point this week and it was call them weird.
Call everybody weird.
Yeah, we don't see that or get that.
No,
and by the way, I've noticed now Josh Shapiro, the guy in Pennsylvania, Walz has got some competition because now this guy's on every network show.
Well, I got to be honest with you. She's going to be appearing in Pennsylvania the day Walz is appearing, I think, in Wisconsin. That party's over. It's going to be Josh Shapiro. And who's the local politician in Minnesota that called Josh Shapiro a Zionist Jew? It's like, what?
Who did that?
Some local woman. She's a. Does anybody
Ilhan
know?
Omar?
No, it wasn't Ilhan Omar, but it was a local political. I think she's a politician, but she called him a Zionist Jew.
Wow.
And she doesn't think it should have been Walz. It should not have been him, but it's going to be him. She's going to be there that day. She's announcing.
Of course. I mean, it would be stupid to pick Walz over him because you got it. First of all, Minnesota's already been a blue state. Yes. Pennsylvania is a toss-up state. You got to tip the scales in your favor to win that state. Why would you take Walz and then give up the chance of getting Pennsylvania? It's a no-brainer.
No, I would agree with you on that one.
And it was the St. Paul City Council President Mitra Jalali.
What did she actually say?
She called him a hardcore Zionist.
A hardcore Zionist. That's what she called him. Hardcore Zionist. Bob, are you a hardcore Catholic?
I'm not a fallen Catholic. I still, believe in some of that stuff there. But
some of that stuff. Okay. That's
well, you know what, Tom? Honestly, I think I may have said this years ago to you. At a young age, I'm in church, and the priest, his sermon involved how. Here's what he said. There were young women, right, that came in. They may have been teenagers with a midriff. Right. And he attacked. You don't come into the church wearing with your belly showing and shorts, blah, blah. And then I actually went after and said, wait, isn't it important that they're in church? He goes, those are the type of women I put my feet into bed with, but I don't want them stepping into my church. You're a freaking priest. You're talking about putting your feet into bed with them? Come on.
What? He actually said that?
Yes. At least he was talking about, putting his feet into bed with women, not, the altar boy. So that was a plus.
I suppose, going after the kids is not a good thing. No doubt about it.
No, but that kind of didn't completely turn me off. But I mean, after that, I didn't feel I needed to go to every mass from then on.
I understand that because we had a priest at St. Anne's who quit the church to marry one of the parishioners.
Well, at least he quit and wasn't doing this, having her come over after.
Well, wasn't
communion?
But wasn't he?
Well,
I don't think he quit and then fell for her. He fell for her and then quit.
I do have because I had a cousin. He was not, I would think, my mother's first cousin or second cousin, but we had a Father Damien. He married us. When Mary and I, the guy that we did it in our Lady of Grace, which is one of the nicest, just upscale modern churches, and he comes in with his brown robes, Franciscan monk, the vow of poverty, that whole thing didn't exactly fit into the scenario, but
there you have
it. He died very recently. He'd been because he was obviously older, in his mid 80s, almost 90. So.
Hey, Bob, Tim Lammers is bitching that we're late, so we got to dump you because he's all upset.
Well, tell him to get over it. What's he going to tell you about Deadpool and Wolverine? Tell him that. Tim, what do you got to say about Deadpool and Wolverine?
All right, Bobby. Oh, well, you got to put them on there. Hey, wake up, you big.
Bring me in. If Bob wants to talk, we talk every week.
We do. We talk every Monday. We do.
Exactly.
Movie adventures.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. No. Because if I go late, then I'm cutting into Kristen's time, and I don't want to do that. So
You can cut into Kristen's time all you want. She stays on till about noon anyway.
Does she really?
She stays on till 35 after. I know that.
Now, I got one question for Tim. What's the big movie opening this weekend, or is it still Deadpool and Wolverine going to dominate?
The movie that wants to be the big movie is Trap. With M. Night Shyamalan. I'll tell you how arrogant this guy is. On the poster, it says, an M. Night Shyamalan experience.
Experience. Oh, God.
Well, I'm going to let you got brass balls coming in a week after Deadpool and Wolverine saying this is an experience. If you were an experience, you'd be head to head with them.
Okay, you ready, Bob?
Yeah.
Goodbye to Bob. We'll be right back with the Tim Lammers experience.
Right.
See you later. I'm experiencing the heave-ho. See ya.
There you go. We'll be right back. Timmy Lammers joins us right after this. I'm here talking with my friends Michael Bilski and Brad Huckle of North American Banking Company. Guys, it seems like banking has changed quite a bit since you first opened your doors in 1998.
Yes and no. In 98, we didn't have online and mobile banking like we do today. Many banking processes have also changed. One thing that hasn't changed is we still provide a true community bank experience right here in the Twin Cities.
Our team takes the time to get to know our customers and their goals. This creates a relationship that is unique in banking today and one our customers appreciate. It's why we like to say we provide a better banking experience.
You're absolutely right, Brad. I've been a customer for a long time. The service your team provides is phenomenal.
Thanks, Tommy.
So why not bank with my banker, North American Banking Company, a better banking experience, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Is that text you're sending so important that you missed your turn? Is that text you're sending so important that you ran the red light? Is that text you're sending so important you didn't see the ball coming onto the road or the child that followed? Hi, I'm Mike Bryant from Bradshaw and Bryant. When you take your eyes off the road for even 4 seconds, your vehicle travels 100 yards. That's the entire length of a football field. If you absolutely have to text, you need to pull off the road somewhere safe and do it from there. Texting and driving is against the law and can cause serious injury or even death to you and others. Now that is important. We hope you're never injured in a collision, but if you are, please contact us.
Find Bradshaw and Bryant, personal injury attorneys at minnesotapersonalinjury.com.
Going farther with Mike Bryant on your side, seeking justice for the injured. Bradshaw and Bryant.
Mike Lindell and MyPillow employees want to thank my listeners for all your continued support. To thank you, they're having an overstock clearance and new product sale right now for the best prices ever. When you use promo code TOM, you get free shipping on your entire order. You get 50% off the MyPillow 2.0. Also get 50% off the brand new flannel sheets that just arrived and won't last long. 6-pack towel sets for only $29.98. And take advantage of the free shipping on larger items such as mattresses and mattress toppers. 100% made in the USA, on sale for as low as $99.99. Everything is on sale, from the brand new kitchen towels that have the same technology as the bath towels that actually absorb dog beds, blankets, couch pillows, and so much more. To get the best specials ever, go to mypillow.com or call 800-516-5146. Use promo code TOM, and you can get free shipping on your entire order. So call 800-516-5146. Go to mypillow.com and use promo code TOM.
You're listening to the Tom Barnard Podcast.
Ladies and gentlemen, Tim Lammers brought to you by Bradshaw and Bryant, personal injury lawyers seeking justice for the injured. Contact Bradshaw and Bryant at minnesotapersonalinjury.com. I'll show you how distracted I was. Somebody sent me a picture of the guy the trans guy who beat that woman in boxing.
Yeah.
And I kind of glanced at it very quickly because I had a lot of other stuff to do. I showed it to Tim and he goes, "That's actually a picture of Mike Tyson wearing a wig." I went, "Oh, you're right. It is." I was like, "Oh, whoops. I better pay attention." That's all I'm saying.
There you go. There you go. Well, welcome to the Tim Lammers experience.
The Tim Lammers experience.
How arrogant do you have to? You know what? Here's the thing
know.
with M. Night Shyamalan. He does The Sixth Sense. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Damn good movie. And then Signs was good. And then, I don't know, he eroded. I mean, and then he hit rock
freaking bottom to the point where he was a director for hire. He did a movie called After Earth with Will and Jaden Smith, was just a dumpster fire. And oh God, I mean, the guy really hit rock bottom. And then all of a sudden he does a found footage sort of thing. God, I can't remember what the hell it was called, but he's back. And then they just started throwing money at him. And now he's to the arrogant part again, because this movie Trap, and it's sad to say Josh Hartnett is the star of this one.
Oh no, I like him.
I do too. I've talked to him a couple times, and just Minnesota guy. I mean, you love to see that. You have high hopes, but the weird part about this movie is if you saw the trailer, they give away so much in the trailer. I'll just tell you what's in the trailer, because if you have any interest in seeing it, you probably saw the trailer.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's a movie about this guy bringing his teen daughter to Lady Raven, who is a Taylor Swift-like sort of person. Performer, and he notices this heavy police presence, but with somebody like that popular, they might have that sort of presence anyway. But then he starts getting paranoid, so he asks his t-shirt vendor, he says, "Hey, what's all this security for?" He says, "I'm not supposed to tell anybody, but there's a serial killer that's here tonight." Ooh. And they're trapping him so he can't get out. And then the next shot, they show him going into a bathroom stall, looking at his cell phone, where this guy is chained up in a basement somewhere. So they reveal right away that Josh Hartnett in the trailer is a serial killer. So I'm thinking, okay, well, it's M. Night Shyamalan, the master, the newly dubbed master of suspense, right? Leave Hitchcock alone. Leave Hitchcock alone. Yeah. So I thought, okay, there's got to be something. And it's not. It's basically stupid. One of the stupidest movies I've ever seen. One of the worst of the year. This should be a Razzie nominee. It's so ridiculous how he keeps finding ways to escape custody and outwit the authorities and all this sort of stuff. I mean, you're working with the FBI too here. The FBI is there. But, it's like he finds ways to elude them, et cetera, throughout the stupid movie. And then it gets worse once he actually does find a way to escape. And then it just becomes more and more contrived and stupid. Oh, so here's the thing. The Lady Raven is played by a singer, songwriter, and producer named Salika Shyamalan. Oh, this is Hollywood nepotism at work.
Uh-oh.
Frame this whole freaking movie.
M. Night
framed this whole movie as a way to showcase his daughter's musical talent.
Yep.
That's insane.
Yep.
If that's the big twist. Well, I saw that twist coming when I saw music by Salika Shyamalan. Here's the weird thing. She's talented. Okay. In fact, I will say she's the best part of the movie. She can sing. She can write and produce. She's musically talented. Then once she actually starts acting, then it's like, oh, no, you just should have kept her singing. Yeah. Then it's, oh, where are you going? What are you doing? It's like that kind of thing. Huh? Yeah. So, I mean, I honestly feel, and this is the second time this year he's done this. This is how shameless this guy is. There was a movie called The Watchers earlier this year that's starring Dakota Fanning, directed by M. Night Shyamalan's daughter. The other daughter. He's got two daughters.
Okay.
The other daughter. So he hands her a movie to direct, and then he produced it. And then he hands his daughter this plum role of this musician who's at the center of the concert. And she performs like 12 songs throughout it. And it's like a Taylor Swift ripoff sort of thing. But honestly, she is really, really good. But again, if you're that good, you shouldn't have to rely on the old man to basically write a movie for you that showcases your talents. They're into this to make her a star. That is it. The script is so damn lazy. Everything about it is just reeks Hollywood nepo baby nepotism to the nth degree.
Right.
It is so freaking blatant and shameless. It just, you know, again, you have high hopes. You think this thing is going to work out. Unfortunately, Josh Hartnett is part of this ploy.
Oh.
You know, it's too bad because he was an Oppenheimer. You got to remember, this guy can act.
Mhm. Oh, yeah. He's a very good actor.
Yeah. You know, so, I mean, it's not really taking anything away from him. But again, we know what the motivation was here. And sorry, M. Night. You know what? I was just, I could feel the rating dropping as I was talking. I'll give it 2 out of 10 on the Lamometer.
Oh, God. So what's your...
I don't know. I mean, I've given ones before. I will never give a 0. I will give a 0.05. But I you know, look, these movies are a tremendous amount of time and resource. You can't besmirch the work that people do they put into these movies. But this one, obviously, this was meant to sell soundtracks or boost this girl's career. And again, she's talented enough, and maybe it will. But don't try to fool me into thinking that this is a real movie, because it's not.
What's your middle name?
Jay. John.
So, that's not gonna. Oh, so it's John. So it's Tim John Lammers. T. John Lammers.
Yeah, that's right. That's
going
right.
with that from now on.
I will forget. Yeah, I will. I'm trying to remember what Shyamalan's first name is.
I have no idea.
But Night sounds cooler.
Yes,
it's Minaj.
Minaj Night Shyamalan.
Why not go with that? I don't know. It's cool.
Yeah, Minaj is a good name.
Well, his middle name isn't even Night.
It's not.
It's Neliatu.
Namaj Neliatu
No, he goes with the initial for the first name, and then he goes with a fake name for a nickname probably for the middle name.
Yeah. Which, I mean, he's not the first person in Hollywood to use a pen name or anything like that. And I'm sure
that's true.
Trying to make your way in America as Minaj Neliatu Shyamalan probably won't get too far. So M. Night.
Yeah.
It sounds really cool too.
Yeah.
Well, and here's the thing about, they try to hide the fact that Salika is his daughter, because I think it might be in a trailer or one of the commercials. It just says music and blah, blah, blah by Salika. So it's like, oh, you're not putting the last name in there, but it does turn up in there. You know, I mean, you know, and it actually, it is. It's in the opening credits. Her full name is in the opening credits.
Oh, it is. Okay.
Yeah, but it's so blatant and just so wrong. Enough of this nepo baby crap. You got the goods. I've always I love the Bridges Boys. I mean, there are times it definitely works, and you could fall flat on your face and be embarrassed, and then that was like a bad move. But you know, there's a lot of second, third generation actors that are good. Jamie Lee Curtis, you know, Carrie Fisher, et cetera. But this was clearly framed to showcase her, and that's it. He wrote and directed a movie to showcase her music, and the plot doesn't matter.
Other than that, though, everything's good.
Yeah.
All right, Palomino, what are you going to do this weekend?
I don't know, work. That's what I do.
Here we go.
7 days a week, shoulder to the wheel.
Shoulder to the wheel with T. King Pittman. That's your new name. King Pittman.
I like it.
Yeah, there you go. Ask Kristen for me about what people are saying in Hollywood about Knight's latest move.
Well, you want to stay on through the break and ask her?
Yeah, I'll do that. Okay. Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah. We'll take a break. Be right back, ladies and gentlemen. Tim Lammers brought to you by Bradshaw & Bryant, personal injury lawyer seeking justice for the injured. Contact Bradshaw & Bryant at minnesotapersonalinjury.com. Right back with T. John Lammers. And I don't know what Kristen's middle name is. What if it's like Olitha? So her name would be K.O. What do you think?
I have a hunch it's not Olitha.
It's not Olitha? You're thinking?
I don't think so, but maybe I'm wrong.
Okay, we'll give it a whirl. We're going to find out right after this. And Timmy's going to stay on to ask her a question.
I've been tracking the weather in Minnesota for a long time. I'm 5 Eyewitness News Chief Meteorologist Ken Barlow. And in the morning, I've got to be right because my forecast affects your family's entire day. And in the evening, you can count on my friend, Ren.
That's right, Ken.
I'm 5 Eyewitness News evening meteorologist Ren Claire. And as a Minnesotan, I know our weather can be tricky. Throughout the day and into the night, I've got you covered with an accurate forecast to help keep your family safe and ready for any weather.
And don't forget, no matter how things change or what time of day, you'll always get our forecast first at the start of every newscast on 5 Eyewitness News. Start your day with me, Ken Barlow.
And wrap up your day with me, Ren Claire.
Because 5 Eyewitness News is always tracking our weather, so you're always alerted first. It's why 5 Eyewitness News is Minnesota's weather authority.
The past several years have been the craziest in the history of the car business. The pandemic, supply chain and chip issues, all causing extreme inventory shortages that led to, well, predatory pricing. Some dealers charge thousands of dollars over MSRP.
We never played that game. I'm Jim Paul of Valley Buick GMC. We knew that would leave a bad taste in a customer's mouth. More importantly, from an integrity standpoint, it was just wrong.
So what about the current market? You know, inventory and pricing.
Valley has their best inventory in years. Really all the Buick and GMC models. Even the previously hard-to-find Yukons, HD pickups, and Hummer EVs. Plenty of deep discounts. Many with factory rebates and low-interest financing.
Then it's a good time to buy?
It's a great time. We're welcoming our previous customers back, as well as anyone else that felt the treatment just didn't feel right the last time somewhere else.
Valley Buick GMC in Apple Valley and Hastings or valleycardealers.com. Car buying without the bad aftertaste.
I hosted my show on the radio for 40 years. Now I host the Tom Barnard Podcast, and I'll tell you, I've never seen the passion and engagement from our audience as I do now. I know we also have businesses that listen to our podcast, and it got me thinking, wouldn't it be great to help those businesses grow by telling my listeners about them? So here's the deal. If you own or handle marketing for a business, would like to have my audience buy your product or service, visit TomBarnardShow.com, keyword partner, and we'll put together an ad campaign to help your business. That's TomBarnardShow.com, keyword partner, and thank you for listening.
You're listening to the Tom Barnard Podcast.
You are indeed, ladies and gentlemen, once in a lifetime experience. You got K.O. Burt along with T. John Lammers talking about, what's the name of the movie again?
Trap.
You know anything about this, Kristen?
Yeah, no one's talking about it. He was like, what is everyone in Hollywood saying? I'm like, we're not talking about it.
Well, you know why? Because it is so damn ridiculous that it is such of a blatant move of Hollywood nepotism.
Nepotism doesn't really bug me. I'm going to be super honest, only because it's just so common and it's beyond what we see on the TV screen. Like working here in Hollywood, you know, even behind the scenes or at talent agencies and things like that, the nepotism thing is alive and well and not going anywhere.
Yeah, I understand that. And I did mention a slew of names of great second and third generation actors.
Mm-hmm.
As long as you bring the goods, great. And I will say that M. Night Shyamalan's daughter is very talented. But I also, suffering through this movie, and the lovely Mrs. Lamameter sat through it with me. And we were just like, can this get any more ridiculous as it goes along and along? And you get to the end, and the big twist, the M. Night Shyamalan twist, is that he screwed you into thinking you're actually going to see a real movie, when in fact, he's basically framed a movie around his daughter's performances. He solely came into this with the idea of, I'm going to thrust her into the spotlight and I'm going to make her a star. There's no other way.
He's been forcing himself on us for years between like I feel like a lot of his movies are ego driven. And you feel that while you're watching the movie. And secondly, he likes to insert himself. He likes to give himself a role. And he is not a good actor.
I know.
Every time I see him pop up, I go, oh my gosh, like you've just taken me out of the movie, because I'm like, oh, look, there's M. Night Shyamalan.
Yeah, well, and he does have a bigger, sometimes, you know, he's like the delivery guy or something, right? And that was for Servant, his TV show, which is actually pretty good. But in this one, yes, he does play a bigger role as the singer Lady Raven's uncle. He didn't even have the guts to say, oh, yeah, that's my daughter. He couldn't even wink and nod at the camera and say, yeah, I gave her this role to showcase her talents. And again, truth be told, the girl can sing. She can write, she can produce, very, very talented. But again, to basically construct a movie around that, it just, again,
doesn't
maybe
make sense.
I'm too criticky on this one. Maybe people won't care. But I thought, oh God, because this is the second time this year. The first one was with The Watchers, where he let his other daughter direct it and he produced it. So it's like 2 movies in a year, and it's like a big FU to Warner Brothers or whatever studio. It's like, well, you want to hire me, I'm going to do whatever I want.
But I have a question for both of you.
Yeah.
Because could it be love of family? Because I work with my wife, our son, our daughter, and our grandchildren. And that's not nepotism. I just love having them around.
Well, look, same with me, man. I mean, and certainly, none of them work with me. My wife does copy edit everything I do. But that's you can't afford to make typos in this business. It just looks bad. But other than that, no. I mean, I've had people say hi to my kids and all that kind of stuff. But no, love of family is fine, but this is more than that.
No, I understand that. Yeah.
He is, and again, I don't even have the one daughter. I don't even know what her name is, but she directed a few episodes of Servant before she did this. This was just, it just feels so wrong. It feels like, okay, this is the only reason he's doing this movie, and he doesn't put any effort into even a twist with this movie. I just
think it's an M. Night issue, to be honest. I just feel like, because he's been doing this for years with himself. So I just feel like there's a sense of like ego to all of his projects, and he's going to force feed us not only himself in acting roles, but he's going to force feed us his kids. And even if they're talented and back it up, I want to see them in other people's projects.
Yeah.
And let their talent shine there.
Exactly. And I've just seen a case of that. I won't call the person out, but terrific in one movie. Next person is like, next movie, it's like, okay, well, you're only as good as the script. And that may be the case here, but put her in another thing. And again, maybe this was enough to boost her into the spotlight for her musical career, but I don't like it. I don't like it in this case because it was obvious what he was doing. It's so bad. It's so bad. And talking about Shyamalan, I mentioned this too. This guy's career cratered at one point, and Hollywood took him back. It was a movie called The Visit. Now I remember it was a found footage cheapo, made on the cheap deal for Universal. All of a sudden he's back, and then he starts throwing money at him again. And now he's to the point where he's giving us crap again.
Nope, there you go. Now we have to, before Tim leaves, we have to straighten something out. Because Kristen, I assumed that your middle name was Olitha, so you'd be K.O. Burt.
I have the most basic girl middle name. So anyone want to take a guess?
Anne?
Nope.
Marie.
The next one, Marie.
Marie.
Yeah, I'm named after my aunt. So
well, both of my sister's middle names are Marie. So
yeah, I mean, I think if you meet Kristen's not a super common name now in 2024, but if you meet most Kristens, they're going to be Kristen Marie.
My mother was Theophila Marie. Theophila, the love of God, Marie. What do you think of that?
We just called her Toots, didn't we?
We called her Toots because nobody could say Theophila. That's true.
Theophila is a mouthful. If you're drunk too, you're going to stumble over that. Theophila.
Yeah, it's not great.
All right. Well, I will give K. Marie for
KMB.
KMB. Or just KB. Everyone calls me KB.
And I'm glad to see that nobody's talking about it.
Yeah, I was like, honestly, the only thing anyone's talking about in Los Angeles right now is the Olympics, because we've got the Olympics in 4 years. So everything we're watching in Paris, we're going, oh, this is going to be us in 4 years. So that's the hot topic right now.
I thought it would have been Deadpool and Wolverine everybody's talking about.
That was last week. This week, it's all Olympic stuff.
It's going to be big this weekend, too. So anyway, all right. Bye, KMB, and everybody else. We'll talk to you next week.
Have a great weekend.
Thank you very much. Kristen Burt, Entertainment News, brought to you by North American Banking Company. Go to nabankco.com to learn more. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. So KMB, and I'm TMB, by the way, Thomas Mark Barnard.
I love it. That's my brother's middle name. See, I think Mark is also a very common middle name for guys. Well, I'll continue on with this Olympics talk just because we have a little bit of news that is handing off to the Los Angeles Olympics, and that is Tom Cruise. If you've seen him, like he's been in every single audience of every single sporting event this week. There is a reason he is going to do the closing ceremony and propel himself into the Olympic Stadium in Paris as the handoff to Los Angeles. So, my guess is, of course he's doing like his Mission Impossible thing, but my guess is that they will continue the storyline at the opening ceremony. This is my prediction 4 years from now. And he will drop into SoFi Stadium to deliver, whether it's the Olympic torch or the Olympic flag. He will do something along those lines, and you'll continue the storyline 4 years later.
Yep, that makes total sense. God, he is involved with everything, isn't he?
Everything. And it's interesting. He doesn't live in Los Angeles anymore. He lives in London.
I didn't know that.
He does. And he is known to have, this I think is so fascinating, these pretty wild, like all day Sunday parties that everyone's trying to get invited to. They're like boozy brunches and things like that. But I think it's his way of trying to lure people into Scientology.
I'm looking forward to finding out that this whole thing is it's gonna be part of the next Mission Impossible movie. Like he's gonna have a role where he has to like infiltrate the Olympics, and then the footage from this is gonna be used in the movie.
Well, it would explain why the budget is so big for Mission Impossible 8. So, because you would have to license out the Olympics. It'd be so expensive. Yeah, that's coming next summer, 2025.
Is it really 8?
8.
Oh my God. That's a lot of movies.
It's a lot of movies. And this budget, he filmed 7 and 8 back to back. And it was filmed during the pandemic, which of course added about 30% to the budget. And they were filming 2 movies. That's where you got that really crazy ranting and raving from Tom Cruise when he was like, you have to sit there and wear your mask. We don't want to get shut down. Of course, he's a Scientologist and doesn't believe in vaccines. When that was a thing, he wasn't, of course, vaccinated. So understandably, he didn't want to get shut down because they had shut down several times with the COVID outbreaks. So,
boy, that was quite the announcement earlier this week that one of the injections for COVID was killing people. That's real nice news, isn't it?
I didn't hear that.
Yeah, it just came out this week. I don't remember the name of it. Whatever. I was vaccinated against COVID and I didn't die, so that was good.
That is very good. We're glad that you're here.
Most days I am too, but some days.
All right, we've got official Yellowstone.
He just moves on.
I do, because I don't want to get into the vaccine debate because no one's going to win this one.
I was vaccinated. I'm not arguing with it.
A lot of people do, though.
Argue the vaccine deal?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Good. I mean, the COVID one is like, it was politicized, but I would say that you should have like your measles vaccine, and you should definitely have your mumps and all of that.
All of that stuff.
Cough.
Yep.
Those have been around for decades, and you definitely want to be. You don't want to get them. Let's just put it that way. You don't want to get polio.
They used to do all of those in school when I was a kid. The Catholic school, they did all the vaccinations in school. Yep.
What was the one that used to take chunks of skin out of people?
Oh God, it did too. I can't remember, but I remember. I know what you're talking about. It took.
You don't have that?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I don't even see it anymore. No, you can't see it anymore. It used to appear on my arm, but it does. I don't know what happened to it. Other skin grew over it or something.
I think, like some people used to have like the chunks of like skin missing from it. I don't know what it was for, but and I used to be like, what is that? And they're like, it was the blah, blah, blah vaccine. And you're like, okay, that's a hunk of skin out of your
arm. I think they had to do it with like a pinprick, like 20 pinpricks in your arm. And when you're like you're 8, 9 years old, that skin's pretty delicate. So they would go, it was not pleasant. I will tell you that.
That sounds terrible.
It was terrible.
Yeah.
But I lived, so it's good.
Yes. We like that. We don't want people to get diseases from olden times. No one needs measles or whooping cough.
It was kind of good news for you some days that I was vaccinated. Let's be honest. Anyway, moving ahead. What did you want to talk about next?
Oh, I was going to say Yellowstone. There's some interesting news in all of this. For a long time, the spinoff, which is going to be the modern era one, they were calling it 2024. It's now been retitled The Madison. And it doesn't have Matthew McConaughey in it anymore. He is out officially.
Really?
and it looks like it's going to start. And I kind of thought that this cast was good. It was Michelle Pfeiffer and Kurt Russell. And I think this is going to excite Tevin, Patrick J. Adams from Suits. Kevin's never gonna live down Suits.
That's my favorite running joke.
Oh my god, yes.
It really makes me laugh so hard because it's like I pretend like this is his favorite show.
What makes it worse is that Gen V is like in the process of starting to film, and so every time I would think like, oh, there's got to be an update here coming. Nope, another Suits update.
No, it's a minor Suits update because it's really Yellowstone. And so that is expected to go into production in August. That's going to be a 2025 launch. If you like 1923, that's in production right now in Austin. And then Yellowstone, the final season, part 2 of the final season, is also filming right now. So some of these things will get wrapped up and we'll finally see some new content on the Yellowstone front.
It's interesting. Why do some people they love working with Taylor Sheridan and other people hate working with him? What is that all about? They just don't have as much power. Is that what they don't like?
Honestly, I think the only person who really doesn't like working with Taylor Sheridan seems to be Kevin Costner. And I think that was like, just a butting of the heads and the egos. And at that time too, Kevin Costner wanted to go off and do Horizon, and he wanted to direct and control his own project. And, part 2 of Horizon has been shelved from the movie theaters. However, it is getting a debut at the Venice Film Festival. So maybe they're throwing it a bit of a lifeline, and they'll hopefully get it into theaters at another point, because Warner Brothers has made a huge investment in it. Kevin Costner's made a huge investment in it. And he's now filming part 3 of this, even though nobody went to see the first one.
Why? I mean, why is he doing it?
I don't know. I mean, this is his passion project, and he literally believes so much in this, and he wants it. And what Venice Film Festival is doing is that morning they're showing the first part, and then they're doing the world premiere of the second part. And he's like, this epic franchise in 4 parts is designed to be seen like all at once. And I'm like, okay, the first one's like 3 hours. So who is going to sit there for 16 hours watching your Western?
16 hours.
Yeah.
It ain't going to be me. I can promise you
12
that.
hours, whatever it's going to be. It's so much time and investment. It's just one of those situations where you go, this is it's nice to have a passion project, but to me, like, he is just taking it into a whole different direction where it's become an ego project.
No question. No, I got to show you something, because you and I have been working together. What did we figure out? Like 12 years, something like that?
12 years.
12 years. And the first 10 years of it, Chris and I have never met in person. So we've never met. And for the first 10 years I worked with you, we weren't on camera, were we?
No, we didn't go on camera until this.
Until this, right. And I've mentioned to you before, I've lost like 90 pounds, but you never saw me when I was 90 pounds heavier. Today's the day, sister. Catherine found this when we were moving. She found this picture. You ready?
Yeah.
This is me, 90 pounds heavier than I am now.
Wow.
It looks like I have a basketball under my shirt.
I like the glossy photo too.
It's glossy. It is quite
glossy.
No
well,
question.
I'm glad that you are, health is so important.
I might live longer now.
You're going to live a very long life.
You've decided that?
Yeah.
So
I mean, you're walking, you're eating well, you're taking care of yourself. That's good.
Well, what about this? What if the day I met you in person, I dropped dead? Would it be your fault or mine?
What did I do to kill you? What did I do to kill you?
I don't know. I'd have to think about it.
I mean, if I haven't killed you already.
There were some days you wanted to, but you didn't. So
there are plenty of days I want to kill you.
Plenty of days, Tom.
Plenty of days. I don't really remember them, but I'm sure there's a day you bugged me.
That I bugged you.
I'm sure I bug you all the time.
Never.
And otherwise, I wouldn't get called a booze hound all the time.
I only say that kind of stuff to people I like. That's one thing that's true. That if I call you a name, it's because I like you. If I don't like you, I would never call you a name. Never.
You just swear at me under your breath.
All right, sister. What are you doing this weekend?
hanging out with friends, relaxing. And tonight I have to go to, I do have to work tonight. I'm doing a red carpet for the 40th anniversary. I don't even know if anyone remembers. There used to be a soap opera called Santa Barbara.
Okay, I
So,
don't remember that.
Yeah, old school one. So I'm going to go and cover that tonight.
All you do is give, give, give.
You know,
It's unbelievable.
unbelievable. Always giving as an entertainment reporter.
And you're
Curing
sure
world peace.
your middle name's not Olitha, you promise.
Marie.
Marie, that was close.
So boring. I'm like the most basic girl from Massachusetts.
Oh, you're not Catholic though, are you?
I am Catholic.
Oh, so that's why your name is Marie, because it's always a Catholic.
Yeah, I'm
Like
I'm
my
a
mother.
lapsed Catholic, but I was raised Catholic. Yeah,
Well, I understand that.
definitely lapsed.
All right, we will talk to you on Monday.
See you all Monday. Have a great weekend.
Kristen Bird Entertainment News brought to you by North American Banking Company. Go to nabanco.com to learn more. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. Yeah, I was thinking about that while we were talking about this whole situation. The M. Night Shyamalan, or whatever the hell his name is. That I wonder if some people think that I am being that way, but I'm not. I just work with my family because I love my family. I like being around them. And they'd ignore me if I didn't make them come in and do the show. That's the real reason I do it.
You're also not creating major motion pictures to prop up a
Right.
music career of any of your children. So
That's true.
very different. To
It's very, very different.
It's not just a step. It seems like a whole staircase.
It is. It's the entire staircase. What do you got planned this weekend, fellas?
Working.
Is that what are you gonna? What are you doing? Like
Restaurant. I got a wedding that I'm doing.
Oh, you are? Okay.
Yep.
On the wheels of steel.
Yep. Wheels of steel.
Wheels
Mixing it
Steel.
up.
What are you doing?
Cleaning up, and then I'm thinking me and a buddy might try to go to that Joe Mauer Hall of Fame celebration thing tomorrow for the Twins game.
Okay, so you're going to take a shower today? Is that what you said? You're cleaning up.
I actually, believe it or not, I did before I came in here. I know it doesn't look like it or smell like it, but
I didn't
yes.
smell you today, so I don't know.
Yeah, that's why I'm on the other side of the glass.
I don't think I've ever smelled you, as a matter of fact, because you're always on the other side of the glass.
That's all right. We can keep it that way.
Do you wear cologne?
I usually do like a spray of a generic one I got on sale.
We'll see, but yeah, most guys wear cologne, don't they?
Yeah, I would think
do
so.
every day. I do. I got about 55 bottles at the house. Kathy goes, "When are you going to throw those away? For God's sake!"
They don't expire.
No,
Never.
No.
You can just pass it down.
Right.
It's a family heirloom.
I still love the guy. I don't know if he's still around or not, but there was a disc jockey in the state of Minnesota, in the Twin Cities, got his name because he went into, I believe, a Merwin drugstore and saw two different colognes. One was Chaz and one was Millionaire. So he used the name Chaz Millionaire. I love that.
It's great.
It's a great inspiration. We'll talk to you guys on Monday.
Yeah, talk to you then. Have a good weekend.
Family shows up next.